presents a Kult Divinity Lost actual play of The Shunned. This actual play contains mature themes and descriptions of situations that may be disturbing. Products of the illusion, horror, and con are not suitable for anyone under the age of 18. The content warnings listed in the description are not exhaustive and may not cover all sensitive topics explored in gameplay. Listener discretion is advised. Please note that the views and opinions expressed by characters during this actual play do not necessarily reflect the views of the individual player, the Illusion Horror Con, its organizers, sponsors, or partners. For more information about the convention or any events associated with the Illusion Horror and Con, please visit our website or join us on Discord. Links are in the description. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome to the Illusion Horror and Con YouTube channel. I'm Crystal. I'll be your GM for today, and we are playing The Shunned from Kult Divinity Lost. It's from the Screams and Whispers scenario collection, and I'm here with my two wonderful players, and I will pass it to them to introduce themselves. Valentine, if you want to start.
Of course, yes. As I was already introduced, I'm Valentine, going by Kevin the Radio Guy on the socials, don't ask. And I am mostly a GM, keeper, storyteller myself. And I usually enjoy deeply narrative games and prefer to lay out things narratively rather than mechanically.
All right, sounds good. Mal?
Hello, I'm Mal. You can usually find me in the Illusion Con chat in Discord. I'm a big fan of Cult. I play a lot of horror tabletop games, and I'm excited to be here today.
Awesome. Okay, excellent. Thank you, guys. And I think we can get started. So, we are in a little place called Devonsport. It's in Washington State in the northwestern United States. It is a small coastal town, and it's not really well known. It's a little quaint. At least it started out that way. Maybe a decade or two ago, it was filled with your typical quaint coffee shops and little boutiques. Things were slow and very cute. However, recently, some big corporations have moved into Devonsport. One in particular is NCO Construction, run by the CEO, Jessica NCO. They have moved in and really, maybe in the view of some people, turned the place around. Maybe in other people's views, it's sort of ruined the charm of the quaint and quiet Devonsport. Now, we're going to zoom into Devonsport, and we'll go to the Four Ways Motel, which is a little bit on the way out of Devonsport. It's on the border of the town and the vast redwood forests that surround this coastal town. And there we see the mayor of Devonsport, Mayor Philip Dapperton. He is walking into the motel and he is getting a room. Followed shortly behind him is a young woman who is carrying binders and folders. And we see him go inside this motel. So we have Dwayne McLean and Toby Hoivack. Which one of you do you think you would be? You both have been called to come meet the mayor at this motel. Who do you think would be there first, and how would your character behave? And you can also go ahead and introduce yourself, what you look like, some details.
So my character Toby, I think he would get there at the exact time. He's a military man, so he would try to be there at the exact time he was given. So if the other character comes earlier, then he'll be there before Toby. But if he comes after that time, then no, Toby is there. And he is stiff. He's used to having to do odd jobs, but I think he just, now that he is trying to be a upstanding citizen now because he's had a tough past, I think he's very strict with himself, and so he's tense. He's trying to stay focused on the task given to him. He's kind of staying to himself as he waits for whatever comes next.
Okay. Do you think that you just go right on in?
Yes, he would go right in.
Okay. Good. So, Dwayne, would you be there on time, before, late? Even?
Oh, absolutely not. For one, I am a retired police chief. Well, semi-retired, but I already treat it as a retirement. And to be honest, I have been having dealings with such things for quite a long time, longer than I wanted to. I work for the mayor or for Jessica, not eagerly, but because I have to. And while I'll do my job as they expect me to do, I'm trying to show with my attitude that I don't really like it. Just these small little irritations. For example, being about maybe 4 or 5 minutes late, barging into the room with a sort of mumble like, sorry, there was traffic. There wasn't any traffic, and they know it.
All right. So we'll go back to Toby for a second. So Toby, you get there right on time. Philip Dapperton is a man in his early 50s, early to mid 50s. He is going a bit bald on top. Looks like he has some dark circles. Doesn't look like he's been sleeping very well. And he's in the room, kind of pacing. I believe you would probably know his secretary. We'll call her Chelsea. She's sitting at one of the little tables in the room with some of the items that she has brought spread out. Philip Dapperton is your uncle, so you know him quite well. And when he sees you enter the room, Toby, he stops his pacing briefly and says, Toby, great you're here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Good to see you.
No problem, no problem. I'm always available to help whenever you need, you know? You help me out.
Oh yeah, family's family. I knew I could count on you. I knew I could count on you.
I'm glad you're good.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're just waiting for the chief to get here. So yeah, have a seat. There's I don't know water here. It's not really anything.
Toby will go to take a seat. He's gonna look towards the refreshments. Is there any anything sugary?
Uh, I think maybe your uncle would have brought maybe some packaged, maybe some packaged cakes or yeah, something sugary and sweet.
Yeah. Toby's gotta make sure he takes something. Sugar has really helped him since he's left rehab. It's something that he can focus on instead of his vices. So he'll take a cake and take a seat in the corner.
Okay, great. Um, Dwayne, do you walk right into the Four Ways Motel?
Oh, yes. I think
Okay.
that we've been told where to meet in which room, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so as a sort of mockery of some sort of etiquette, I do just two knocks, obnoxiously loud, and then just barge in without anything, without any warning, going like, sorry for being late, there was traffic. And then I look across the room, my eyes are being hooked to Toby, and maybe I relax a little bit. I walk towards him. I was stretching a hand for a handshake and going like, oh, Toby, you're here as well. How's Ken?
Um, as soon as you say Ken, he gets a little down. You can probably see, but he'll shake your hand. Still looking for him. I'm just here today to help my uncle, but yeah, I haven't really got any leads on Ken yet.
Oh, that's a shame. And I'm kind of darting a quick look at what he has with him on a drink and then go staying sober, I hope.
Trying every day.
Good, good. You're a good kid. And I slap him on the back and just try to take some sort of place nearby. After all, this is a familiar face and one I am not as irritated by as by some of the others in this room.
Mm.
And after that only, I look at this, I am assuming slightly nervous man.
Yeah.
And giving him a nod, crossing my arms, and going, morning.
Yes. Good morning, Dwayne, Chief McLean. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. Yes. Okay. Let me get some things together. And he walks over to Chelsea, the secretary, and he shuffles some of the papers. And you can see that there's also some envelopes, some yellow envelopes, and they look like they contain something relatively bulky. This room is relatively hot and stuffy. It is a motel, so it smells a little off. Like they don't ventilate it very well. Outside, it's rather cold. It's actually October, or no, it's early December in 2014. So it's a little crisp. It's a little cooler out. It's starting to rain a lot more. And yeah, for whatever reason, they've cranked up the heat in here. And so it's a little uncomfortable. While the mayor is getting his stuff together, Dwayne, can you describe what you look like, what you're wearing, how old you
It's a
are?
rather bulky man. He's supposed to be in his mid to late 60s, but maybe in a way he looks a little bit younger, not in the least because he's hitting the gym rather regularly. Other than that, he always looks like he just had really bad news. With a little bit eyes that are a little bit more sunken than they should be, maybe a bit more wrinkles that you would expect. He's balding. He is, as I mentioned, rather heavy set, and similarly has a very angular, almost square-like face. It's one of those men who are desperately clinging to what little hair they had left. Usually, almost as if to show that, oh, I'm half retired, he isn't that well shaven, wearing a 5 o'clock shadow until it just starts getting in his way or getting that awful scratchy face. Still wearing his uniform, although maybe not as ironed as he used to wear it before all of this happened with the new company. And actually, he does feel a little bit hot in here. And at first, he tries to unbutton a few buttons on his shirt, realizing it's not working. He's getting a little bit sweaty. So he goes to the nearest window and tries to crack it open just a little bit to let the air in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it cracks open a little bit, but it's those motel windows in the US that don't open all the way. They lock them after a certain point. So it's really just a crack of fresh air coming in. Toby, what do you look like? How old are you? What are you wearing?
Toby's in his 30s, I think. He's 6'2". He's a broad man. He looks like he works out. Dark hair, blue eyes. Um, he has stubble. It looks like he should be clean shaven, but he hasn't kept up with it. On most days, he's always wearing his dog tags. Um, he sticks the tanks that he can just throw a jacket over. Very casual. The only thing I think on him that he really keeps up with are the dog tags in his boots. His boots are always very clean, like he polishes them. They're always in good condition.
Okay, great. So after the mayor gets done fiddling with his papers, he turns around to the two of you. Right. So we all know each other. We don't need any introductions. As you both well know, about 6 weeks ago, there was that horrible tragedy, the school shooting that happened at Devonsport High School. It's really, really nasty business, really terrible. The FBI came in, they investigated things very quickly. They closed things out after, 2 or 3 weeks. We think that maybe there is more to look into regarding this this business, and I was hoping that you two would maybe look into it for me. A fresh set of eyes would be really helpful, and yeah, I think it would be good to do.
What are we looking for?
Uh, anything that may have been missed by the FBI or uh, the I not to say that your police department, uh, Chief McLean, would miss anything, but just anything that might be out of the ordinary. Just make sure everything is, the T's are crossed, I's are dotted, that sort of thing. You will be both well compensated, obviously.
Obviously. What makes you think that we missed something? I mean, what makes you think that we missed something?
Oh, nothing in particular. Just, just wanted to wanted to make sure that everything is how it should be.
Right.
So I have these for you. And he turns around and Chelsea hands him 2 envelopes. They have your names on them. This is a 25% of the payment, and you'll get the rest when the job is done. So I would say just, look over the police reports, interview some people, talk to whoever you need to talk to. Yeah, that's what I would like for you guys to do. Do you have any questions other than what you've just asked?
So we got the guy that did this. We're just looking for what, like motive? Like maybe motive that was missed to see how this happened in the first place?
Well, yes. Motive would be helpful. Patrick Wilson, as you may know, Toby, was in a relationship with my daughter Ashley. He was a very well-mannered, kind boy. It's a little astonishing that he would do something like this. I just didn't think Patrick Wilson would have. Anyway. A motive would be good. Maybe where he got the gun.
Okay.
Details, There are some things that are still unknown that maybe if they were squared away, then the city could start to heal.
Okay. I think I understand. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of looking over at Toby because, well, I know how this works from my side, but I'm curious whether or not he looks comfortable with all of this. Mostly to understand whether or not he's done something like this for the mayor and, well, let's face it, Jessica before.
Mm.
Have I done something like this before? Like for
Um,
my uncle, maybe?
I would say that this might be one of the first times that your uncle has uh, maybe given you a task like this to do. I think maybe with your history, he has probably not seen you as very reliable, and maybe this is a way of him to show that he's putting trust in you again, since you've been doing so well in your rehab and your life generally recently.
Okay. So, if he is looking at Toby, I think he's determined to do the job well. So that's maybe why he's not questioning why exactly he's a part of this job, because it doesn't really make sense to him why he understands getting the police involved, obviously, but he doesn't understand what made them want him to do this job, I guess. So, but he's staying quiet on that part because he doesn't want to embarrass his uncle or draw attention to the fact that he might not be up to standard, but he's,
So, like, a little
yeah,
bit confused.
a little bit confused.
All right, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it, Dapperton continues. Well, I think that's it for me. Toby, you have my number, so you can give it to Dwayne, and then please make sure that I'm informed of what you guys find out, and of course, yes, yeah, and I will. You guys can have the room. It's paid for another couple hours or so, if you want to discuss things. And yeah, Chelsea, I think we can head out now. And he starts to leave.
Oh, I do have a lot of questions, but I'm not going to ask them.
Okay. Yeah. So if you don't stop him, he and Chelsea leave the room. He leaves the key card to the room on the table. And so the two of you have the room if you'd like to discuss what you want to do.
I turn to Dwayne. I'm gonna trust his lead on this. So, any ideas where to start?
Well, for one, I think we all understand who gets to deal with police reports and who gets to deal with people. To be honest, I'm a little surprised that you're here. Are you planning on
You and me
joining the police
both.
force?
No, I don't think there's a future of me being in the police force. But no, like I said, I'm just as surprised. I plan to do my best, but I don't exactly know what expertise they're looking for with me being here. Maybe with the whole finding out where he got the gun, but other than that, I can't see how I'll be much help right now. But like I said, I'll try my best.
Well, we do have a lot of police reports to go through. Unless you want to split and try to talk to the parents or the friends.
Or the girlfriend. Uh, um, before we decide where to go, can I just take out my phone and maybe go on Facebook and look the kid up, like just to see what his social media looks like, maybe to see if there was any online bullying or if just to get the idea of his life.
Certainly.
At least what he posted.
Okay. How about we have the first roll of the game, and let's have you make an investigate roll.
Okay, reason.
Yeah, reason.
A 10.
Okay, great. Yeah, you look at, you pull out your phone and you start to look up Facebook. 2014. No, it's a little late for MySpace, but Instagram probably would have been around too. So yeah, you can look at just general social media. And so you look up Patrick Wilson, and because you are part of you are the nephew of Philip Dapperton, you would know that his daughter Ashley was dating Patrick Wilson, who was the person who committed the school shooting. You probably wouldn't have met him, and you probably would have gotten the idea that maybe your uncle was keeping you sort of distance from his daughter in a way, especially when you first got back from Iraq. But maybe now he's trying to extend an olive branch, as I was saying earlier. So on Facebook and Instagram, the social media stuff, Patrick Wilson looks just like a normal kid. He was 18 years old. He was a senior at Devonsport High School. He was dating Ashley Dapperton. There's a lot of pictures of them together. Very typical, with, with my bae at the mall, like, kisses, hearts, very sort of, it looked like she was doing a lot of the posting for his social media. But yeah, it's him and his friends, him with Ashley. Not really anything out of the ordinary, nothing to point to anything sinister. Nothing weird. Some pictures of food. His posts are about bands that he likes, sports. Can't wait to go to university next year. Stuff like that. As far as bullying is concerned, looked like he was pretty kind. Didn't really post on other people's stuff unless it was his friends and he was saying he was liking something or, that sort of thing. Not really anything suspicious. You can ask a question regarding this information if you like.
What is my gut feeling about what I'm investigating?
Your gut feeling is that either Patrick Wilson was, I mean, your gut feeling is like he must have been very, very good at hiding what was going on inside of him. If he was able to do a school shooting, like this does not look like somebody who would be capable of doing this. So it looks genuine, his social media, but it must be fake, right? Because somebody who, a healthy young boy doesn't just go and shoot up a school, right?
Right.
While Toby is on his phone, Dwayne, are you doing anything?
Not exactly doing, but I'm trying to recollect certain things. First of which, who wrote the report about the shooting? Was it by any chance myself?
No. So the FBI pretty quickly took it upon themselves to come in and deal with the shooting investigation. And I believe at the time, because it was happening so often, there was a law saying that the FBI needed to come in to take things over. We'll just say that that's true. So they pretty quickly swooped in, started to run their own investigation. And because you are semi-retired, you were kind of shooed away, maybe. So you might have some bitter feelings about that.
Not exactly.
Okay.
I mean, someone else came and did my job for me. I'm all for it.
Great. Yeah. So yeah, they did. They swooped in. They did it. Took about 2 to 3 weeks. And they filed the report. And because Patrick Wilson was killed by police on that day, that they kind of just did the basic investigation that they needed to do, and then that was it.
Yeah, we still get to see some reports in the police.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yes, and the second question I had, it maybe will require a little longer thinking. Maybe this is why it took so long for me, as long as it takes for Toby to go through the Facebook and Instagram, is that I couldn't have but noticed that our lovely mayor always was talking about this mysterious she or her, which I assume to be Jessica. So I'm thinking, if that is true, what would she gain from it? Like, this is a kid. I understand if these were his parents, then she might have wanted to take over their land, their home. This is a child. What would or could she get out of this investigation?
That is an interesting question.
It is. Actually, have I ever done something similar for her? To maybe try to see a pattern? It would help both to see whether or not my conscience would allow it, though, let's face it, it will. Mm-hmm. And where should we dig to satisfy her? Mm-hmm. Because it sort of sounded like this. We were given a very vague task, but I'm sure that whoever gave it to us like really gave it to us, knew exactly what they want, and we just need to guess. I fucking hate guessing.
So I will. Yeah, you've been a police chief for a long time. I'll give this to you without a roll. So the mayor's demeanor and the way he was speaking about this task, it did very much sound like he was given it by Jessica Inzio. And he didn't really want to do it, but you don't say no to Jessica Inzio. So he was coming here, and I mean, to be honest, it probably looks like Philip Dapperton wants this thing to be over with. Like, he would probably prefer not to have this investigated. I mean, his daughter was very affected by the school shooting. And Dwayne, I actually forgot to mention, you do know that your daughter, Carol McLean, she is a deputy at your police department. She was involved in the shooting of Patrick Wilson. She and another deputy actually killed him before he could kill any other students. So, yeah, this seems fishy to you. And it does seem like Jessica hasn't given you any vague tasks before. She usually knows exactly what she wants done. She's very, she's very focused. And she has an uncanny talent for doing exactly what she needs to do in order to get ahead. And she knows who to ask, who to manipulate, who to bribe in order to do so. So this vague, almost wild goose chase, maybe to you, sounds fishy.
Fishy squared. It's fishy because it's Jessica. It's fishy because it's unusual for her.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting, but for now doesn't say anything specific. So we better start digging, I suppose. And I'm looking over to Toby and nodding to his phone and asking, "Got something?"
I'm not sure if it's exactly helpful what I found because I'm getting the picture of, like what was said in the meeting, a kind boy, but it seems, I don't know, like created, like he's not kind. Like we know how this ended, but it seems like an image has been created for him to hide behind, basically. It seems like the girlfriend, she posted a lot of pictures of them together. Do you know if when Patrick was taken down, maybe evidence was taken, like a phone or the gun in question? I mean, because if the girlfriend was posting on his accounts, maybe she has the passwords, maybe we could see DMs, maybe we could see, I don't know, kids talk online. Maybe that's how he got the gun in the first place.
Wait, his girlfriend was posting on his accounts.
I show him the Facebook. Yeah, it seems like these are pictures posted by her. Like, this doesn't seem like him posting these pictures.
I'm looking over to see whether or not it looks like a young man has posted something like that. And if the conclusion that it's not, I'm sort of shaking my head a little and go, well, this is suspicious, if anything. I mean,
Yeah, I'm just
you must remember how you were at that age. You wouldn't allow to get a girl you fancy into your dirty laundry.
um no, I don't think I was quite like this. But no, it's just if she has access to his social medias, that could be a help. So, I mean, one of the many people we'll probably have to talk to. So,
If they took the phone, getting back to our previous conversation, then it's
yes.
probably somewhere in the FBI headquarters. They wrapped
Mm,
it up real fast. But if the girlfriend still has access to his social media, then that's worth a check. Who knows?
okay.
That might have been something where he got the guns from.
Dwayne, just a quick correction. You would know that your police department did keep all of the evidence and the files from the school shooting. So the FBI takes copies, but you also would have access to those reports and the evidence they keep with you guys.
Let's assume that just because I haven't been involved, I maybe forgot about that
Okay,
for the
that's
time
fine.
being. I'm looking at Toby and going, want to chat with his girlfriend?
Um, yeah, I think that'll be a good lead. I don't know. Kids lie to their parents a lot. I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't talk to the parents. I'm just not sure if the parents will have more information than, I don't know, anybody else who thinks he's a kind, upstanding young man.
This is always the case. They always say, oh, he was such a nice boy. And then in retrospect, they might notice some no bells. Anyway, girlfriend is a good start as any. And by the way, what day it is? Like, if we're going to look for his girlfriend, would she be at school or at home or like at the mall?
So today is Thursday, December 4th, 2014. It's 6 weeks to the day from the school shooting. And yeah, it is early afternoon, late morning. And you know that the school, Devonsport High School, is actually still closed. They're still cleaning up and making repairs. So most of the students have gone back to, not back, they've gone to a different school in a neighboring town to do classes and stuff. Toby, you have Ashley's number if you want to ask her where she is.
Yes, I think I will do that. I probably won't call. Teens hate when you call. I'm probably gonna send a text.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, a lot
Um,
about teens.
Young at heart.
Mm.
Um, I think the text, I'm gonna try to keep it short because we're not, like you said, my uncle has kept us away kind of. So we're not very close. So I'm just gonna type hey Ashley, sorry to bother you. I know this is probably a hard time right now. I'm doing a job for your dad, and it would be appreciated if we could talk to you a little about Patrick. So if you have the time, maybe we could set up a meeting and I'll send that off.
Okay. You send it off. Almost immediately, you do see 3 dots coming up, or you see indication that she's writing back. And after about a minute or two, you do get a text back. She said, hey, yeah, I'll talk about Patrick, but my dad is hovering. Let's meet at the park later tonight, maybe around 7 or so.
I'll send a thumbs up and then I'll be sounds great. Thanks for giving me some of your time. Then I'll turn to Dwayne. Set up a meeting. She said she'll meet us at the park around 7. This is gonna be awkward.
Well, it gives us enough time to go through the reports. Come on. You're gonna be my +1.
Okay. Never felt so special.
Don't get used to it. And I'm going out, grabbing the card with me, and I actually have a question. How old are my grandkids? Like, could have one of Carol's kids be friends with him?
No, I don't think so. Let me take a look here. I think Carol's kids are 10 and under.
Right.
So not in high school yet.
All right, so that's crossed off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking whether or not to message Carol, asking for her input. But in the end, I think that might be a better conversation, maybe for some sort of impromptu family dinner.
Perhaps. You also would know that she's currently working at the police department. So if you guys do go there, you would probably run into her.
That much is true. How did she take it, by the way? Was she too distressed by this whole ordeal? I don't think this is the first time she has shot her gun, but it might have been the first time she has shot a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Probably the first time she's shot somebody so young. And yeah, I would say maybe she didn't talk about it too much. She probably told you the bullet points of what happened. She was probably quite distraught. She's been frustrated with the police department in general anyway, for various reasons. This was obviously very hard for her.
So maybe jumping at her at work with this is not the best of ideas. I feel like if she took it hard, that means a certain more intimate atmosphere is needed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe after she comes home, has something to drink, relaxes.
Yeah.
And for now, we have enough work to go through the reports and maybe check whether or not some evidence has been left behind.
Yeah. So are you two heading to the police department?
Yes.
Okay. So, head in Dwayne's car? Separate cars? Or how did Toby get there?
He probably has a beat up car.
Mm.
You're welcome to hitch a ride with me if you want to. But if you have a car, why not?
Yeah, I'll probably get in my own. I don't want to leave my car behind. When I do get in my car, can I take out the envelope they gave me?
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
I just want to check the amount of money I'm getting for this job because it feels weird to be given a stack of cash for this the way it's been set up. So I'm gonna open up the envelope.
Okay. You see that it's about $1,000. He did say it was 25% of what you would end up getting.
Just for doing a double check on the kid, it seems he doesn't want to say it seems like an SS because he does come from a family with money, but it's just weird in his mind to be paid this much for what they're doing. They're just going around double checking what the police already have. So he's gonna put the money in the glove box. He's not gonna add it to his wall or anything yet. He's kind of separating from it until he figures out the big picture behind all of this because he's very nervous about making deals. Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, in the glove box that goes.
Yep. Out of sight, out of mind. Okay. Do you do anything in particular, Dwayne, when you enter your car?
Surprisingly enough, the same thing as Toby, because I don't really want to get caught with a suspicious bunch of cash in my pocket. So in the glove box it goes.
You don't look what's inside?
I just weigh it. You know, this isn't the first time that I've dealt with Jessica, and I'm kind of doing this, maybe around 800 to 1,000. That's okay.
So actually, yours feels like more than that.
No. And this brings up even more questions about what she would gain from all of it. Because I am 101% sure she's not doing this because she's such a nice person. And she wants to make sure. But that's a question for another time. Now we have police reports to go through, and for me to think how to dissuade Toby from working with this woman further and not sound too suspicious.
All right. So the two of you, around the same time, start your cars and leave the Four Ways Motel. It's early afternoon still. You weren't in the room for more than an hour and a half, maybe. Driving through the streets of Devonsport. And it's a pretty typical winter day in the Pacific Northwest. It's kind of misty and hazy. There's a little bit of drizzle coming from the sky. It's quite chilly. And as you're driving through town, you see people just going about their days, in their coats. You might pass by Enzio Construction offices. It's a giant building in the middle of everything. And you head to the police department. So you get there, and there are the typical police cars in the front. People's private cars are parked in another area, and you both go into the parking lot. The building is not that big. The police force is rather small, so Dwayne, you would know it would consist of yourself, semi-retired, Peter Cox, who is the deputy chief of police. So he is next in line to become chief after you fully retire. And then there's Deputy Brent Meyer and your daughter, who is a deputy, Carol McLean. And other than that, that's the core group of the police department. Other than that, there would be some random police officers as well, maybe 5 other ones who do traffic checks and that sort of thing.
Who would have been in charge for filing these reports? Well, I mean, I know that they were filed by FBI, but if I wanted to find them quickly, to whom would I go?
You'd probably talk to your second in command, Peter Cox. He would probably have been the one who was in communication with the FBI at the time when they came in.
So there I go, of course, waiting for Toby to catch up.
Okay.
Because I don't think that anyone would let him just barge into the deputy's office.
Probably not.
No.
Not unless he's a +1.
Mm. Okay.
Yes. So there I go. And on the contrary to how I greeted the mayor and his assistant, this time I do knock at his office and wait for him to kind of call in or maybe ask to come some other time.
Okay. Yeah. You move through the doors, and there's a bit of a bullpen area with some desks, and there's some officers using computers and filling out reports and that sort of thing. And then there's a group of offices. So Peter Cox would have an office next to your office, Dwayne. And you give a knock, and a voice from behind the door says, yes, come in.
And I opened the door, just instead of coming, just making a step inside and leaning in, to signify that I'm not here for long. And going,
oh,
hey, Peter.
Chief.
Yeah, listen, where can I find the report on that Patrick fella?
Patrick Wilson? The school shooting?
The shooting, yeah.
I mean, they're in the file room. There's, you can find the corresponding evidence in the evidence room. Why you want to look at...
The FBI didn't take them.
No. They, they filed their reports. They made copies. They said that we should keep the evidence since they were basically here in a helping capacity.
Well, that helps. Right.
What do you want to look at those for?
The mayor's a bit itchy. Wants to double check everything. I don't know. Maybe worried about his daughter.
Yeah, I see. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, knock yourself out. All yours,
And
Chief.
I'm sort of giving him an expression of inner pain. Like, I don't want to do this, but this is the mayor, so you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me know if you see anything that nobody else saw.
Sure. Yeah, and I'm looking at him with a doubted expression and slick back out.
Yeah.
Turning to Toby and well, good news. The FBI didn't take the evidence, so maybe you can take a look at that phone. And in my head, I'm adding however illegal that might be.
Toby just nods. He's gotten real silent since they came in here.
I'm good. You're okay, kid?
Fine. Just, not trying to draw attention to myself.
Right then, let's go. And I'm thinking that, did Toby ever ended up here in jail because of his, let's call them complicated relationships with alcohol?
I've been arrested a few times by you. A few of them.
More like, have you spent the night?
I don't know, have I? Probably.
I mean, yeah, that's up to you, but I would say if you're in the drunk tank, they wouldn't release you until you're sober.
Yeah, so I've spent the night a few times.
Yeah, that's understandable then. Part of me wants to kind of ask whether or not he wants to have that disgusting coffee we have in the station, but another part of me realizes that probably the best course of action to be in and out as fast as we can. So to the archives we go.
Okay. Yeah. So as you guys are walking through the department, that is a good point. Toby, you might be keeping your head down a bit, but Chief, as you're walking through, all the people are greeting you like, "Hey, Chief, how's it going, Chief?" You're getting highs and greetings. You are getting some interested / weird looks from people because you do have Toby following you, and he is not in handcuffs. He's walking freely here. So, and Toby, if you are paying attention, you would also see some of these looks as well.
Yeah, I think at this point he probably has the hood from his jacket up on his head. He just doesn't want to cause a scene, I think, and he doesn't want his reputation to drag down the chief, because the chief has always been, showing him a bit of respect that nobody else has, giving him grace. He doesn't, want to drag anybody down. So he's trying to be on his best behavior. He's not making eye contact with none of the people coming up to the chief. A few of these people have arrested him, so he's like, just silent, looking ahead.
Okay.
I'm looking at that, and I'm even slowing down a little bit, and I'm going, "Hey, just do not say anything unless they ask you questions. And that, I'm pointing at the hood, is actually a bad idea in the department.
I guess I'll take my hood back down then.
You guys continue with the relatively uncomfortable walk to the case files, the archives. And there's also all the files are also on the computer as well. They're archived there. But yeah, you can take the paper files or look them up on the computer, whichever you would like.
I personally, as a person who's not very good at computers, would, of course, prefer the paper.
Okay.
But yeah, this is when having a status means something. They might look at us weird, but I'm sure that no one would do anything about me bringing this guy to the archives.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah,
So
it's
there's
just
the
weird
report.
looks. Nobody says anything.
They might think whatever they want. I will be retired in a couple of years anyway.
Certainly.
So there's a report, and also they've mentioned some evidence. And maybe now I start to recollect, like, right, we have it somewhere.
Yeah. So you're able to find it really easily. Things are organized around here. Your police department keeps things organized and clean. So I will give you this first handout. So if you look in Foundry, can you see that handout? Patrick Wilson
Yep.
Police Report? Okay.
Yep.
So after a cursory look, you get this basic information. Patrick Edward Wilson, born 1996. He was 18, 5'9". All of his other stats. So the shooting took place on Thursday, October 23rd. And yeah, Patrick Wilson came to school armed with a gun, with an assault rifle, first thing in the morning. And he ended up killing 19 students and one teacher. And he was also killed on site by police. So I'll give you a chance to read this for a minute, and then you can tell me what else you want to look into. Okay. All right.
To be honest, as a person who has been born in 40s, I think, I believe that it is safe to assume that certain levels of isms and phobias are present in me. And the first thing I think I would like to look is whether or not his close friend with a very suspicious Middle Eastern name has ever been arrested. Because having this weird, like, tunnel vision, I think that maybe the first thing that comes to my mind is that's the guy who, like, gave him whether weapons or drugs to do this, or just convinced him to do that. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What are your initial thoughts, Toby?
Initial thoughts, he's also interested in the close friend, but also in the sister. Little sisters see things. They know their older siblings' secrets. They keep watch. So he's very interested in when they talk to the family later, making sure that they also talk to the sister.
Okay.
And as I'm going through the files looking for this Hussein fella, I would also ask Toby, going like, hey, listen, you've been in the field. I have my own experiences about this, but this fella doesn't have any training, no background in shooting, and he had a gun. He killed 20 people that were obviously running from him. I would say that that doesn't sound very plausible, don't you think?
You'd be surprised what a kid with a gun can do. I mean, as long as you know how to turn the safety off and pull the trigger, I mean, it's not really rocket science.
Yeah, but running targets.
A whole bunch of running targets.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Is there a report on maybe what was found on the body once Patrick was taken down? Like, I don't know, usually school shooters, they have like maybe a manifesto, a note that they leave. Like, is there anything like that?
So there is let me So you do see that the only things that Patrick Wilson had on his person when he was shot is the assault rifle, which is an M16A4 assault rifle. I personally don't know a lot about guns, but I'm pretty sure that is a pretty serious weapon, semi-automatic or fully automatic. So that plus plus 20 magazine rounds. Or sorry, 10. This is written in a weird way. it looked like he had a total of about 14 magazines of bullets. 2 of them were spent. Two of them were spent in the classroom. So from this report, you're starting to get an idea of what happened. It looks like he walked into school and went to a classroom, shut the door, and shot a teacher and a room full of students. And then he left the classroom and started to shoot any people who were in the hallway. And yeah, all he had on him were what he was wearing. He was wearing just jeans and a t-shirt and a yellow rain jacket. The gun and the bullet magazines. And that was it. No backpack, no phone.
I suspect that in these circumstances, even if it didn't have phone on him, the police or the FBI would have still confiscated it alongside with any other electronics from his house. Was that done or not?
I think they were confiscated, but they were returned to the family after they were investigated.
Well, that still might give us access. I would assume that after 6 weeks, they would still be in mourning and maybe not eager to kind of wipe them.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, he probably went to autopsy after being shot. Do I see in any reports any mention of having drugs and or alcohol in his system?
So autopsy, so there's a cursory report on Patrick Wilson, and it says that there was no drugs or alcohol found in his system. It does have a note that the bodies are being kept at the morgue at the hospital until there's going to be court proceedings, even though the shooter is deceased. They still need to go through what's going on. It's going to take a long time to, victims' families are probably going to want some sort of justice besides. So there's going to be a lot of suing, and there's just going to be a lot of court stuff happening. So the bodies are still being kept at the morgue at this point.
Those poor people, I'm thinking about his parents who can't bury their son for almost 2 months. Oh, coming to them would be a bad idea, but we have to.
You both can make investigation rolls if you like.
That is a 17.
Okay. Yeah, both did quite well. Okay. I assume you're reading through all of these files that you have, correct? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So you are reading through them, and Toby, you were in the military. You probably had to file reports and do that sort of thing. So you are looking at these reports and you're understanding them. You get the gist of what's going on. And Dwayne, obviously, this is your job. You are very good at teasing out evidence and seeing maybe what doesn't fit.
Begrudgingly good.
Right. So a couple things pop out at you. And Toby, you'd probably see some of this, but Dwayne would probably also make you aware of this. There was blood analysis, ballistic analysis. There was all the forensic tests that were done. And yeah, it says Patrick Wilson's corpse basically showed no sign of alcohol or drugs. He seemed to be sober at the time. Also, there were 2 different sources of blood that came from Patrick Wilson's clothes underneath his rain jacket. So obviously he was covered in blood from students, people that he shot. But all of that blood was identified, and there was one blood source that wasn't identified, and they don't know whose blood that is still, which is strange to you. Also, it says that the gun that he was using, the serial number was removed. Removed using probably acid or something that removes it completely. Like they couldn't get any number off of this, which is weird that a kid like Patrick would have access to a serious weapon like this that is untraceable, basically. And the gun itself had 2 sets of fingerprints on it, Patrick Wilson's fingerprints and an unknown set. And to answer a question that you had earlier, you can do a quick search on Hussein Abtahi, who is Patrick Wilson's friend, as it says in the report. He has no criminal report or no criminal record. By all accounts, he is a very good student. He is on his way to a very good university. His parents are upstanding citizens as well.
Right. By the way, do we know if Patrick was in some sort of maybe sports team, in some sort of a club?
No, it does not say that. Yeah. It doesn't say whether he was involved in sports or not.
Maybe a thing to check. That's, after all, a very tight clique of people. They might have noticed something. They might have given him some sort of weird contacts. Probably not me.
You guys do have questions if you want to ask your questions from the move.
Part of me wants to ask, is there anything weird about what I'm investigating? But I think that a lot of it is weird.
Mm-hmm.
The sudden change in character, that blood, actually the assault rifle. I'm not sure if it gets weirder than that. But maybe how I can find out more about what I'm investigating. And I'm thinking about a very specific thing right now. Because, well, Devonport isn't that big of a town. However, maybe we have someone who I know deals whether with illegal guns or drugs. Maybe they have been arrested, maybe not. Maybe they paid me. I'm not sure. And I'm thinking that direction. Would I be suspecting someone to have maybe vague access to such weaponry or drugs? I'm not sure.
Okay. Nobody really comes to mind when you're thinking about who would have access to a weapon this serious. There's not, as far as you know, there isn't a huge problem with drugs in Devonsport besides the typical, people will make them and probably sell them like small time, right? You know, some small time people, but there, as far as anything larger, you can't really think of that. How to find out more, though, it does say that there is surveillance footage from the school from the day.
I mean, I know one person who might have gotten their hands on the weaponry, but that's a paranoia kind of thing. I suppose I have very little trust in Jessica ever since the incident.
Yeah. Toby, what are you thinking?
For my question, I am gonna go with, is there anything weird about what I'm investigating? Like, have I picked up anything odd from these files?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, the unidentified, the unidentified prints can be explained away. Who knows who else touched this gun before or after. The unidentified blood, though, that is very strange. They have all the victims. They have all the people who would have seemingly bled in the area. And unless he had this blood on him before, it's curious as to where it came from. And also, you are also concerned about the gun. You would know that it is a very serious weapon. It doesn't like it's not something you would be able to easily learn how to, like you would probably have to go deep in the woods in order to practice with a weapon like this. And yes, your earlier comments were correct. I mean, if you're in a room with a lot of people, you can pretty much easily hit targets. And that's, especially with a gun like this. But to actually know how to use it as a high school student in a small town, that seems strange. So,
Thoughts?
what would you like to do next?
I have a lot of thoughts right now. Circling back to what you said earlier about him being able to use this gun, I probably brushed that off too quickly. That is odd. I'm trying to think because like I should know the area. Is there any woods that teens hang out at? Like bonfires or something? I just feel like if a teen's shooting a gun in the woods, like he's not alone. There's someone with him, someone who hears in a small town. He can't just hide the fact he's toting this gun around.
True.
Which is also odd to me.
I guess this is something where you can tell me, do you think Toby, so first of all, Toby probably grew up here, I would assume. And you tell me, were you the kind of kid who would go hang out with friends in the woods, go to bonfires, go out drinking, or were you more of a loner? What type of kid were you?
I think Toby was exactly the type of kid in the woods shooting a gun with his friends before he enlisted. Yeah, he gives that type of energy. I think he was a popular kid hanging out in the woods, bonfires, parties, getting drunk, I think since he comes from money, he was a popular kid.
Okay. So, yeah, you would know that it would be there are a lot of woods surrounding Devonsport. You basically have the Pacific Ocean on one side of town, and then almost the rest of the surroundings is woods. And then I think I forgot to mention this earlier. So Devonsport is about 30 to 45 minutes away from Seattle, Washington. That's the closest big city. And basically in between is woods. Now, if you know the woods well and you are able to navigate them, then yeah, there's probably places that you can go and shoot guns and people wouldn't hear it or even care. But maybe you and your friends were certain types of kids that actually went hiking and would know how to go find places. Patrick Wilson doesn't seem like that type of kid. Seems like he is a bonfire and drink some beers type of kid. But again, it's, he did know how to shoot this gun. So he might have found places in the woods that you would have known from when you were a kid.
Okay.
There's the surveillance footage.
Would you guys like to watch it?
Yes.
I'm sort of mostly looking at Toby after this statement because I'm a little bit concerned that he might get a PTSD looking at it. So I don't know, maybe he wants to walk out.
Oh, that is true.
You're one of the few good people in this town, so yeah, I care about you, man.
I think Toby, I think the pride would keep him in the room to watch. I think, at some point, toxic masculinity, I have to get over what I've seen. So maybe, I'm man enough to look at this video and be able to function, is what he's saying to himself. Like, if I can't do that, then what can I do?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's him trying to like Bruce force getting better because he's in a better place, in his opinion. So yeah, he'll stay.
Still look at him with slight suspicion, but if he says so, let's go and find that footage. And I think that since till 2014, it all has been digitalized, and I have to use the computer. It takes me an obnoxious amount of time
Mm-hmm.
Good thing
to
you're
find the
retiring.
surveillance footage. I'm not used to that. I still think that kids have MySpaces and whatnot.
Okay. So to watch this footage, there is there's a desk inside the archives with a computer on it, and you can use it to search up the CCTV from that day. You guys can pull up a couple chairs and hover around this computer. And after the obnoxious amount of time that it takes Dwayne to pull it up, you do indeed pull it up. And you do watch it. And I think I'll have both of you roll a keep it together for me before we talk about what is actually on the footage.
$13.
Okay. And Toby got 16. Okay. So I will make this visible to you. Do you see the school shooting timeline?
Indeed.
Okay. So, timeline for school shooting, as per witness statements and CCTV footage, All events described here take place on October 23rd, 2014. Approximately 7 in the morning, Patrick Wilson's mother, Clara Wilson, wakes Patrick up. Approximately 7:15 to 7:40, Patrick Wilson has breakfast with his sister, Elizabeth. Approximately 8 a.m., Patrick leaves through the back door without his phone or backpack. Approximately 8:15, witness by the name of Doug Crosby sees Patrick walking through a wooded area behind his house. 8:21, Patrick's friend Hussein Abdahi calls Patrick to check why he hasn't stopped by. Approximately 8:55, several witnesses, including Hussein Abdahi, see Patrick walk across the lawn on the north side of the school building. They state he was heading for the main entrance and he was wearing a yellow raincoat. 8:56, CCTV cameras see Patrick entering the main hall of the school, heading directly towards the classroom in which Frank Dubois held his class. 8:57 to 9:06, Hussein Abdahi, as seen by CCTV cameras and correlated by his later statement, leaves the classroom and enters the main hall. He walks over to the door of Frank Dubois' classroom, where he remains for the next 9 minutes. Hussein Abdahi reports seeing Patrick shooting several students through the window in the classroom door. During this time, witnesses report sounds of gunfire. 9:02, Jerome Wade calls into Devonsport PD about an active shooter at Devonsport High School. 9:07, the door to Frank Dubois' classroom is opened. Hussein Abdahi now runs for the main exit and leaves the school building. Patrick enters the main hall. The yellow raincoat is covered in blood. 9:07 to 9:14, Patrick walks around the main hall attempting to open doors, but they are all locked. 7 students are caught outside of the classrooms and run for the exit. Patrick shoots at them without aiming properly. Three of the 7 are seen falling to the ground with gunshot wounds. The CCTV has technical issues during this time, and some footage has been lost. 9:15 to 9:16. Ashley Dapperton, as per CCTV footage and her own statement, leaves the bathroom to run for the main exit. She trips over and falls. Patrick walks over to her and raises his weapon to her head. 9:16. Officers Peter Cox and Carol McLean enter through the main exit, each discharging their service weapons multiple times at Patrick. Patrick falls to the floor with multiple bullet wounds. Patrick falls to the floor with multiple bullet wounds to his chest and abdomen. Also, a couple things here. Frank Dubois was the only adult who was killed in the shooting, and he is a science teacher. And Jerome Wade, who is mentioned at 9:02, he is the principal of Devonsport High School. And I think we'll address the keep it together, and then if you have any other questions, we can talk about it after that. So let's start with Toby. You did very well. What's your thinking on why Toby took so well to seeing this footage?
I think that while this school shooting is a tragedy, it's not war, and I've seen war. I've seen the worst of people, and I think that is what is keeping him in this moment, because while it's sad to see It is just one of the many sad things that he has seen, I think.
Yeah, indeed. Dwayne, you got a partial success, so tell me how you're feeling or what's going on. What's going on with you?
It is sort of, I think, hard to describe in a few short sentences his emotions because they are very complicated. It's not the first time he had seen violence as it is, but as a father and a grandfather, there is something very disturbing. I wanted to say special, but that's too positive of a word, about seeing someone murdering children. And while outwardly I am a very rough and non-caring person that has been very disappointed in where this town is heading and not caring, I cannot but wonder, like, what if something turned out differently if I didn't take this path? Somehow I feel like there might be some sort of correlation with this company that came here and the entire town just going downhill. And I just, like lay there on my back and allowed this to happen. Maybe if I had done something or said something and have been a little bit more proactive, it wouldn't have turned out this way. And I feel like from the entire this list, he would start being guilt-ridden.
Yeah. Yeah, so Dwayne, you're sort of reeling a bit from seeing this particular tragedy and also maybe how your action or inaction may have led to something like this happening. Toby, since you are able to watch this with a little bit more distance, maybe, you do notice a couple things about the footage. So when you first see Patrick on the CCTV footage, you do notice that he enters the school and goes directly to Frank Dubois' classroom. He is very focused and determined on going there. He doesn't look around. He doesn't, it looks like he knew exactly where he wanted to go. Also, every time you see Patrick's face, you actually don't see Patrick's face. If his face is angled toward the cameras, it's strange. There's a distortion on his face. So it's hard to tell if it even is Patrick Wilson from this video. If they hadn't shot him and he wasn't in the morgue right now, that it would be almost impossible to tell who it is by this distortion. And it's only on Patrick. It's not on anybody else. You can clearly see other people.
That's odd. I'm gonna look at Dwayne. Is glitches like this in the security camera, is that normal? And I'm just gonna point out the glitching around Patrick's face.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. This isn't a FBI TV show, after all. We cannot zoom in and enhance.
But I mean, only on him? It doesn't seem like it's doing it to anybody else.
I think someone tampered with it.
I don't know, but I mean, didn't the camera cut out for a bit during the video? I mean, I'm not saying anybody tampered with it, but it is odd. It's two odd things about the video.
Two?
The distorted face, and during the video, it did cut out for a bit before Ashley ran out the bathroom, right?
Mm-hmm. Less than a minute of footage was lost, but yeah.
Yeah, now when you talk about it, maybe this is what the mayor wanted us to investigate.
Okay.
What happened in that minute? And also, he has been seen by a witness at 8:15 in the wooded area behind his house. And then at 8:21, he was already armed, I assume, and wearing that raincoat. So he had only 6 minutes to get dressed, get his weapon, get to school.
I am interested about looking back there whenever we do go to talk to the parents. I think looking in the woods behind the house would help. I mean, it's probably where he was hiding the gun.
Of course, but do expect to nothing be found there, because, FBI has been here.
True.
They probably cleaned everything out. What do you think might be in that minute?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. The friend watching for a bit and only running away when the door opened is sketchy.
Suspicious.
I mean, it could be shock. It could be shock. But I just think it's weird that he watched from the other side of the door for a good bit before, acting, So I don't want to paint suspicions on him, but I am curious about why he did that. So whenever we do talk to him, I or you should bring that up, because that is an interesting, not interesting, because nothing about this is interesting, but it is something that needs to be questioned, I think.
Yeah, that was my next point. And also, maybe we need to look into his science teacher a little bit as well.
Yeah.
He chose that class. That was the only adult victim.
Okay. Another person to look up. Got it.
I'm curious, though, whether or not someone had tampered with this, or it was just a genuine glitch. wonder if they have a copy somewhere in the school that we can take a look at.
As he mentions the school, I think I just think of Ashley. Can I check the time? Is it still early?
It is. You would have been looking at files for a little bit, so I'd say it's around 3 or 4 in the afternoon now.
Okay. We still have time. No rush.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else we should be investigating here before we even go out to check on to talk to people? Because
Unless
we
you
want to
want to
get as
take a
much
look at the gun.
information as we can.
Unless you want to take a look at the gun.
Yeah, I will take a look at the gun.
Okay. So you leave the archives, the file room, and you head to the evidence locker. And again, it's easy to find. There's stacks of boxes and various other holding containers for different cases that have been worked on. It's not a huge room. It's, there's not a ton of cases in Devonsport. So, yeah, there is a gun locker, which Dwayne, you have a key for, and you are able to get a hold of the M16. So the gun is in a long evidence bag, and it's properly signed and everything. There's it has the case number and all that. What would you like to do with the gun?
I assume there's a table somewhere there.
Yes, there's a table, and yeah.
I would place it there, and I would ask Toby that if he can handle it without unsealing, that would be ideal, because we don't need his fingerprints on the gun as well. Just in case.
I'll wear gloves and I'll try not to take it out the bag. But I will pick it up and look at it.
Okay. You pick up the gun, and you're immediately hit with the smell of gunpowder as you get it close to your face. You know that this is strange. It's allegedly hasn't been fired for at least 6 weeks. Well, actually, maybe 3 weeks, because they would have probably fired the gun to get rounds to compare to what they found in the students and for evidence. But that's a long time, and it shouldn't smell this strongly of gunpowder. Also, when you are handling it, you potentially get your hand close to the barrel. It's quite hot. It's in a plastic bag. It's even melted a little bit of the plastic at the end.
Yeah, I'm twisting it, not twisting it, but turning it in my hand, because all of this is so odd. and I think I'm going closer to Dwayne just to show him the melted part of the bag. No one's has anybody do y'all log who comes to come investigate the evidence? Has somebody recently messed with the gun because it's hot as if it's been fired?
And I am not answering that question, but instead immediately turn around, walk out the door to find the table of the nearest officer, deputy, whoever's there, to just hang over them and bluntly ask, hey, who's been to the evidence room before us?
As soon as he left, I put the gun back on the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're hovering over this deputy, and he says, Chief, yeah. Well, according to the log, we had who was it? It looks like Officer Carol, your daughter. She was here. She was looking at evidence in a vandalism case.
When?
Let's see. This morning. Early this morning. 8 o'clock.
And I just nod and simply return without a goodbye, without nothing, back into the evidence room. Doing well, that's odd. How much time would you say it passed since it was fired? You obviously have experience with such kind of weaponry.
Would he be able to tell? Is it recent, or?
By how hot it is, it should be within the past hour. It not only how hot it is and the strong smell of the gunpowder, at least within the last hour or two. Probably no more than 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. An hour, 2 tops. Yeah, someone used the gun.
Last one logged was this morning, so yeah, not an hour ago. Let's see.
Do y'all have a camera in front of the evidence room to see? Maybe someone came in and logged their name.
I suppose we should have, but also, are there any windows in the evidence room?
No windows. It's a room pretty much inside the building. There's no windows to the outside here.
And at first, I make a few steps towards the exit to actually go and check the CCTV in the police department. And then I stop and I turn around to Toby and I go, but where? If they were firing, and I just show into the room, where did they fire?
I look around.
Why no one heard it?
I don't have those answers. I just, based on how hot the gun is, I mean, that's what I'm making the assumption from. The gun is hot, as if somebody shot it, and I can smell the gun smoke. So, I mean, I'll look around to see if anything's been shot or anything.
And there's no other way why the gun would have been hot, like maybe a malfunction.
I'm wearing gloves. I think y'all have gloves.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at you. I have a sorry expression on my face, but I'm gonna open the bag and I just want to see because the reports said how much of the Magnum was used. I want to see if an extra Magnum was used, basically. Or
Okay.
what? I don't know guns either, but
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to see that? So there would be a log of the bullets that were left in the magazine on the gun. Yeah. So you take it out and you inspect it. Also, so Dwayne, you would know that there, in the police precinct, you do have an area where there is there's a water tub where you can fire guns into and you collect the bullets from this water tub. So you have that on site, but it is incredibly loud. People would know exactly what was going on in there. There's not a lot of like sound insulation. So people are typically very careful and cognizant of telling people, hey, I'm going to go fire like a test round. And so people would know that that was happening. Okay, so Toby, you take the gun out and you look in the magazine. And so there are about 8 bullets left in this magazine inside the gun. But according to the gun evidence log, there should be only 3 left. So it has more bullets than what it says in the log inside the gun.
I'm gonna look at Dwayne. Something isn't adding up. Either the report is wrong or someone used the gun and put extra bullets in it. The report said there was only 3 and now there's 8 in the chamber. So
I will go to the evidence locker.
Something is odd here.
I'll check the magazines because he had quite a lot, Patrick, on him.
Yeah.
So if someone fired those 3 bullets, then put a new magazine and fired a few more, because I'm not sure how many bullets should there be in this specific model. It's between 9 and 21, so I'm not sure.
There's 20 rounds per magazine.
Yeah, so if they fired 3 and then fired almost the entire next magazine, there would be whether one missing from the bag or one with no bullets.
So you check the magazines in the locker and they match what it says in the report.
I look back at Toby. I assume that he understood what I was doing. Then, like, well, whoever came here seemed to come with their own bullets and or their own magazine. So we can safely assume that this person might have been the same person who acquired this gun for Patrick.
Correct, because this isn't a standard gun. I don't think this is the gun y'all are given here at the station.
Of course not. I don't think even local hunters have it. Anything like this.
All right. Well, I put where are my gloves? I put the gun back in the bag. Enough of that.
Military hardware does not grow on trees.
No. Money, someone with money.
The fact that you also don't wake up one morning and decide to rewrite your name in gunpowder is another question entirely. So I'll go and check the CCTV.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah,
So
I think we should have it.
Yeah.
In the station.
Yeah, you have you have CCTV at the station. And Toby, are you going with him to watch it as well, or are you doing something else?
Yeah, I think we would have put the gun back in the locker.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely keeping close the Dwayne as we're here. So yeah, I would follow after him.
Okay.
From my side, I absolutely trust Toby not to shoot the entire police station with an automatic rifle.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's easy enough for you to check the footage. And indeed, the log was correct. The last person to go into the evidence locker was Carol McLean, Deputy Carol McLean, your daughter. And that was around 8:07 or sometime around 8 o'clock. And otherwise, all you see is so the camera is like right outside the door. There's no actual camera inside the evidence room. It's just looking at who goes in and out. And nobody else went in there until the two of you went in there to examine the gun.
And there's this clock that says which time it is and which date it is.
There is a timestamp, yeah.
If I go around like maybe an hour and a half before, I'm seeing if there is a certain jump there because someone I assume tampered with the CCTV in school. And the same person might have tampered with it here. So I'm trying to catch it, like looking at mostly seconds.
Okay. So the timestamp, you watch it, and you're making sure that there's no time jump or anything like that. And there's not. However, about an hour before you and Toby enter the room, you hear the faint sound of a gun cocking.
And I go back. I listen to it again. Then go back and ask Toby if he hears that as well.
Do I?
You hear the faint sound of rifle fire. And I assume you rewind, listen again, rewind, listen again. It's very, very faint, but every time you rewind and listen again, you hear different sounds. Sometimes you hear the firing of the gun. Sometimes you hear 10 rounds going off, bam, 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 bam. Sometimes it's only a couple. Sometimes it's a gun cocking. Sometimes it's sound of reloading. It's very, very faint, so you could... Well, let's see if you brush it off. I think that calls for another keep it together from you both. Wow.
Wow.
All right. Toby.
13.
Toby got a 20. How are you justifying this? How are you keeping yourself so cool? What's going on with Toby?
Toby is used to his mind betraying itself, but the fact that Dwayne is an outside force next to him, also going through the same thing he's going through, hearing the same things he's going through as they go through this this tape, is cementing him in the fact, oh, I'm not crazy. My mind isn't making this up. This isn't PTSD. There's a factual source saying that, oh, yeah, I'm also going through this, and I trust Dwayne to be of sound mind.
That makes one of us.
I think that is what is cementing him in the moment.
Okay. Dwayne, you got a mixed success.
Yes, I'm trying to brush it off. You know, it's just stress. I haven't been sleeping well, and this obviously Jessica is puppeteering our mayor and whatnot, and I just need a cup of coffee. I need to reload my brain. Everything's fine. I'm just imagining things. May I take being haunted with experience later?
Certainly. I love that choice. Thank you.
And I even sigh and I look at Toby and I think I need a cup of coffee. Do you need a cup of coffee?
Sure. A cup of coffee would probably do us both some good.
Black?
No, I take mine with milk. Lots of sugar if you got it.
You put 17 sugars in your coffee as well.
Yes.
Got it. Then going out of the room and saying, I once tried 18, too sweet for me. I'm gonna get us some of this, what they call coffee in the department.
Yeah, it's generic brand, just cheapest they can find at the grocery store. Tastes burned.
That's not the issue. The issue is that no one cleans the coffee pot, and therefore the taste is something else.
True. I think everybody silently expects Carol to do it because she is the only woman in the department, but I'm gonna say that she rejects that premise and doesn't.
There we go.
Yeah, so you get the coffees, and actually while you're out in the main area of the police department, lo and behold, you do see Carol. She is sitting at one of the desks, She looks to be writing up something, looking down at her work.
I wouldn't want to bother her with this case too much yet. However, I would like, as I pass by, just nonchalantly ask, hey, they say there's some vandalism case going on.
Oh, hey, Chief. Yeah, there's been some, probably just some kids spray painting houses with weird stuff. I don't know. We're looking into it, but yeah, there's some houses with some weird symbols spray painted on them.
Weird symbols. I mean, you don't mean the classics with dicks and tits on the walls?
No, it's nothing vulgar. It's just weird. I don't know. Do you want to take a look?
Like what? Sure.
And yeah. So I'm going to show you. You open up the file and she's just actually started writing it up properly. But she's taken some photos, and you guys can see that symbol in Foundry.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. There are some houses who have reported the symbol drawn on their walls outside.
That's some Blair Witch shit.
Yeah, you're telling me, Dad, Chief.
And I remark that in my head because I'm thinking, if we have a cult going on, maybe this little kid just fell victim to it. Yes, but for now, I am keeping her away from what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell her to, keep it up. To return to Toby, kind of thinking whether or not I should tell him. We're working on the same thing, and technically I should, but also I would really try to keep him away from the trouble, and working for that company is big trouble. I think I will have some time until we finish the copy to realize whether or not I should tell him. They bring him back.
Okay.
Milk, obnoxious amount of sugar.
Yeah, Toby just starts tearing into the sugar packets and dumping them in. Milk overtakes the coffee. So, yeah.
You know, they invented energy drinks. Pretty much the same thing.
They're gross.
They're carbonated. What do you think about a possibility of some sort of a cult?
Is this a new lead? Wasn't really thinking of that before you just brought it up, but is there a connection?
Well, There have been reports of vandalism with weird symbols painted on the walls. So I'm thinking maybe there is some sort of a vaguely religious organization, and that kid looks like someone who could be brainwashed. He's all goody two-shoes and whatnot.
I mean, maybe we can look into if any of these symbols were painted on the houses of some of the victims from the shooting or the shooter themselves. I mean, see if it's connected to any of the people who are coming up in this case.
By his expression, you might notice that he doesn't really want to do that. And in his head, he just wants to keep his daughter as far away from this as he can. So he'd rather wait until she kind of files this report and he can sneakily look into it instead of just going to her. He doesn't say it. There is some sort of, I wouldn't say exactly regret, just maybe slight irritation at that notion.
Are you okay? Is that not a good idea?
No, that's a great idea. Maybe a bit of a stretch on my part, though.
Why?
I don't know, I just feel like there has been a few weird things, and I'm trying to sort of place every weird and unusual thing that I see into this whole ordeal. Speaking of, and you mentioned that we have this water tank, basically, an impromptu shooting range. Does that place have any cameras?
Yes, I would say that probably each door in, especially where evidence is held and taken to and that sort of thing, there would be CCTV covering most of like the hallways leading to evidence and case files and all the important things that if those things go missing, it's a big deal. So you can quickly also check that CCTV. You can pretty much check whatever CCTV you would like to within the station, and it's the same thing. You don't see anybody going into that tank at all today.
Yeah, I don't think I would. I didn't think I would. But maybe we have something inside.
Okay.
Just in case if like two officers are firing and someone gets shot, so we can figure out what happened. That's a dangerous zone. I would think that someone would install some surveillance there. But if not, I would have a few questions to the chief. Oh, wait, that's me.
So you want to look into the tank to see if there's any bullets
if
remaining?
there is surveillance inside of it, I would like to look at it. If not, then yeah, that would have been my next stop.
Okay.
If it has been fired recently, I assume that my new colleague here would be able to see recently fired bullets or like dents in this tank.
Right. So the CCTV in the police department only covers hallways and doors, basically, and there's no cameras inside any of the rooms. So the CCTV looking at the door is kind of all you have. And there's nobody going in or out of that room. Even within the last couple days, there haven't really been any gun-related cases that needed to be investigated. So nobody's really gone in there the past couple days. If you go in there, and so it's a large water tank, and it has a hole at one end, or like a tunnel coming out of one end, where you put the gun, the muzzle of the gun inside of it, and then you fire into the water. And then the tank opens at the top. And then you have like a stick, a magnetized stick that you can put in to see if you, to get any of the bullets in the water. And you open it up and there's nothing in there. It's clean.
If Toby's there, which I assume he is.
Yeah.
I'm just going, I have no idea who are we dealing with, but they are taking this very seriously.
And they have access to the police station.
They shouldn't, but I think that they might have tampered with the CCTV because, well, what other option do we have? Like, a guy just teleported in and out of the evidence room, fired a gun, collected the bullets, and put it all back out in. The only thing I can think of is maybe it's a group of people, maybe they have some sort of a weird hacker person that can remotely mingle with the footage.
Okay, let's stick to that instead of fantasy and teleporting. Let's stick to reality. Maybe they have a hacker.
I would love if this place was as exciting as something in Mission Impossible, and someone would crawl through the vents and take the gun. But I also see no reason in that, in all of this.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have a lot of people to talk with. Do you have a preference? Because I can tell you right now, it won't be pleasant with any of them.
I'm gonna check the time again.
So now it's around 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
We have the meeting with Ashley in 2 hours. But if you wanted to stop maybe and do a quick talk with somebody before that, I'm open to that. I'm interested in the friends. I feel like we should save the family because we'll probably have more to do with them. Because I think, checking out his room, checking out behind the house in the woods, it's going to be multiple things.
I'm thinking if it's that soon, maybe talking is not the way to go. The school is now closed, but that doesn't mean we can't get inside and check their local copy of whatever was going on. Maybe they don't have that job.
Okay, cool.
And here lies the question. If the school is closed and locked, would I be looking for the principal for keys? Or is it closed and locked because of us and we would have the keys?
I would say I think you would have a copy of the keys. Yeah. You would also know, and perhaps this was also in the report, or you've heard about it around town. The school is, again, currently being repaired and cleaned. So there are people there doing repairs and trying to get the school back up to, the standard where children can go back and be there. So you might be able
for 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're still there.
Well, they take things easy.
But yeah, I'll say you have there's a spare key that you can get into the school if it's locked. You also have the number of Jerome Wade, who is the principal, if you wanted to talk to him for whatever reason.
We will get to him eventually.
Okay. But yeah, you can go ahead to the school.
Yeah, so I'll tell Toby, I have the keys. We can go to school. You want to go on your own again? We'll leave your car over here. You can be sure no one will steal it.
I do not want to leave my car at the police station.
You almost have some sort of romantic attachment to it.
No. It's just a bad look. People are going to see my car out front and they're going to get to talking, and I think I'm talked about enough.
I think that in lieu of the recent events, people are talking about something else.
People always find something to talk about, but you know how this place is. They'll circle back eventually.
Eventually, but this might be your chance to fix your reputation. Imagine you help finding some sort of a weapons dealer or a religious cult in the area. Who cares if you once in a while have one too many?
I care, but yeah, I'll leave the car and ride with you.
It's faster that way.
Okay.
By the way, what did the papers write and the news said about the motive? Because they always come up with something like bullying, radicalization, violence in video games. What did they blame all of it on?
Because there was no clear motive that was given by the FBI or your department, for that matter. I think there was a lot of speculation in many different directions. So the various news outlets did not stick to the same rhetoric, the same narrative, rather, as each other, trying to sensationalize even more so the nice, smart, good grades, all-American boy shooting up the school for seemingly no reason. There was a couple different narratives, and some of it speculated bullying, some of it speculated radicalization. There wasn't anything it wasn't normalized over the various news outlets.
That is weird a little bit, because this is a juicy kind of news, perfect to surround with adverts and sell.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, I would expect for like reporters, sleuths, or internet detectives to get to something, sensationalize it, make it a headline, but they didn't. This is a bit odd.
That's not what I meant. It was sensationalized. It just there wasn't a common narrative between the news outlets.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They didn't kind of find someone to blame or something to blame, like rock music or video games or violent films.
Right.
They usually do that. That is odd. We should go to school.
Yeah.
And I would ask Toby if he had a chance to, while I was doing all sorts of thing, to actually see if anything was found on his devices among all the reports, because I don't know anything about that stuff.
On the device about what?
Well, I assume that they took something from his phone or his laptop, see if he was talking to someone. I don't think he was, because would have known about it, but just in case.
Well, the phone was given back to the family, so I mean, the FBI, like you said, probably went through it before they gave it back, so I'm not sure how much we'll get out of that. I mean, that's something to bring up when we visit the family.
Yeah, that would be a very hard conversation to have. Are you good with people?
Barely.
Yeah, I just can't walk in and kind of insist that this is something that needs to be done. I'll be honest with you, I will feel like an asshole.
I mean, no, of course we give our condolences. We don't intrude. We're very polite. Bring up the fact that that the mayor has an interest in this, maybe, and that maybe there's more to the situation that hasn't been brought out. They might be interested in that, just to see how their kind, upstanding son, if we say there might be more to the case, they might think, oh, well, here's a reason. Parents, I mean, speaking from my own, they always look for a reason in why their kid went bad. They just can't accept their kid just being bad. There has to be a reason. I know that's probably plaguing them, and I know they're probably thinking, where we got to get these answers. We might be what they want to see in the moment, because they most likely want answers.
Well, they're right. People don't just rewire themselves one morning and decide, oh, I am evil, now I'm going to shoot people. There should be a reason. Nothing comes out of nothing. We just don't see it yet. Whatever darkness was in him, or whatever domino chain of events led to this, it is just locked behind the door. We don't have the key to, at least yet. Or my hopes are that someone else is holding that key.
Guess we'll see.
We will.
I imagine you are having this conversation as you walk to Dwayne's car, and you hop in and start to head to the school. Dwayne, you're behind the wheel. You're
Yes.
driving. And I'm going to cash in on that haunted at another time that I have in my pocket. And after watching all of this footage of that day 6 weeks ago, thinking about this 18-year-old boy just waking up one morning, presumably, and deciding to do something terrible, it does remind you of that day and where you were. Around 9 a.m. on October 23rd, you were in your car in a sort of remote area outside of town. It's kind of your favorite spot. It's a spot that you shared with your late wife before the cancer, before things got ugly. What's that spot that you and her used to go to, and then you went by yourself?
No, not exactly by myself. But I didn't kill 20 people, 19 of which were children. I didn't want to do this at all. I mean, it was implied that I should. But to be honest, I did everything I could to prevent this from happening. I tried to talk. I tried to bribe. She could have just taken it, you know?
True.
I'm not proud of what had happened. And to be honest, I don't really see much correlation except this and that involved firing a gun. Well, and of course, the woman who ordered that. Why the hell did I agree to this job, though? If I know where it might lead.
Is that a question that you want to ask yourself?
I don't think that I have the answer, as if I had it, I would like it. Like, just an hour ago, I was telling myself that maybe things would have been different if I would stop just taking it, and look what I'm doing right now. But maybe this is the way for me to do things right this time. Whatever's going on, I am absolutely sure that this woman and her company have some sort of materialistic interest in this, and they are up to no good. And I know it because they never are, because I know what they ask me to do over and over again. Maybe this time I should do things the right way and not the way they tell me to.
Yeah. Your thoughts sort of meander into sort of this righteous indignation of this woman, Jessica Inzio.
Let's stick with this woman for now.
This woman. She who has no name. She has done a lot of things in the town that have sullied it for you. And done a lot of things that required you to do a lot of things that have sullied you, perhaps. And you're thinking about these things. You think about you were at your favorite spot on the morning of the school shooting, and how the radio in your police car just blared to life around 9 o'clock. Active shooter, Devonsport High School. You think about when Carol told you that she was involved in shooting the kid. Think about all these things. And Toby, if you happen to look over at Dwayne, you see his eyes sort of glaze over a little bit. And the wheel is starting to drift a bit to the left. And then more to the left. Seems to be drifting sort of over the line into the next lane.
Oh, I immediately grabbed the wheel and I'm like, what the fuck, man? And I'm trying to like pull it in the opposite direction away from us going into this lane.
Then startled,
Yeah.
almost as if awake, and be like, Jesus. Sort of
Don't
this
tell
thing.
me you told me to get in the car to kill both of us.
I was just thinking about all of this.
Do you need us to pull over? Like,
If we're going to pull over, every time I'm thinking about something weird happening, or you for that matter, I don't think we will get to that.
every
Late.
time you thinking cause you to almost collide us into a different lane, yes. Take a minute and get your mind together.
Right, I'm fine. Eyes on the road.
Okay. But Toby is keeping an eye on that wheel now. Like, he is vigilant that he doesn't start swerving them off the road.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think about everything but that morning.
Yeah. How's that working out?
It's very weird. It's like I'm looking at the road, I'm looking at the cracks in the asphalt, and I'm trying to think about how long they've been here, why no one had fixed it. And my mind goes back to that morning, and then I yank it back again.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the road, some kids over there, did they know Patrick? Should I pull over and ask them? And that question gets me back into that morning, and I yank myself again and go over and over again.
Yeah.
But at the very least, I'm doing my best not to hit anyone and anything.
And the rest of the drive remains safe, at least for the most part. And you arrive at Devonsport High School. It is, still between 5 and 5:30 in the afternoon. You get to the parking lot, and it's just a square parking lot in front of a square building. It has 2 large double doors that lead inside. It is surrounded by some forested area. It doesn't look too dense. It looks like it's frequented by various people. There's some little footpaths you see in the grass and leading into the trees. In the parking lot, there's some vans, and it looks like they are cleaning and carpentry vans. And as you stop the car and probably start to get out, you can see some of the crews that were working inside, some of the people who were working inside, start to come out of the double doors. And they're wearing sort of workman's clothing. Some of them are wearing disposable cleaning over coveralls. And some of them are carrying some tools and that sort of thing. And what would you guys like to do?
I'm planning on ignoring them and just going straight in. Fortunately, being in the uniform opens a lot of doors.
Mm-hmm.
And also that key.
Yeah.
I'm just staying close. I mean, I probably do look at the people who we are passing, like trying to see if I recognize anybody.
Would you have taken any odd construction jobs or anything of that sort when you came back or before?
Yes, I think so. I think that's actually in my background, yes.
Okay.
That I did construction.
Okay. Then I think you would maybe recognize one of the carpenters who is leaving the building. His name's Carl.
Hey, Carl. And I'm gonna I'm gonna wave in his direction to try to get him to stop.
Oh, Boyvac. It's been a while. How are you? What's going on?
A while. Not much. Out here helping my uncle with all this mess, this sad mess.
Sad mess, for sure. For sure. Still a mess in there.
Still? It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, between you and me, I don't know what these cleaning crews are doing because, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. It's been really weird working on this. And you can tell Carl has some like dark circles under his eyes. He looks like he looks pretty exhausted.
Dang, they got you out here working hard. I mean, I understand with the shooting, I understand there's a lot to be cleaned up, but there were things that need to be rebuilt.
Well, yeah. I mean, we think that. So every time we leave for the day and we lock up, we come back the next day, like we're fixing the bullet holes, and the cleanup crew is, they're cleaning the blood. We're replacing stuff that needs to be replaced because we can't get the stains out of it. You know how that is. But yeah, every time we lock up, and then we come back the next day, we see more bullet holes. We see blood on the ground. Like, don't know what the fuck is going on.
Fuck yeah, I'll let the chief know, and it's probably some dumbass kids coming in thinking this is something to laugh at, and it's not at all.
That's what I said. We've actually tried to talk to the police at some point, and they said they investigated and nothing came of it. So,
what a load of crap!
You're
not all
me.
of them, they just clock in, clock out. They don't really. Some of them are just in it for the paycheck. Few good ones like the chief. Like I said, I'll let him know because there got to be something they can do. Like, you don't got cameras around here?
I mean, they shut the cameras off after the incident, so they haven't been on for a while now.
I think we need them more now than ever. That showed why they're needed.
That's what I said, man. But they
not
don't.
The time to be lacking.
They don't let us touch that equipment, and I wouldn't know what to do with it anyway. So,
let me see what I can do about stopping these kids from trespassing and making you work harder.
That would be really great. I appreciate it. We should get a beard sometime.
Well, maybe you get a beer and I get a Pepsi.
I see. Trying to keep it clean, huh? All right.
Try my best.
Well, yes. I'll get a beer and I'll even buy your Pepsi.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
All right. See you later.
See you later. And I'll head back to Dwayne. In my head, I'm not thinking trespassers. So I said that for Carl. That is not what Toby is thinking, though.
Dwayne, I imagine you went inside the school, or you're waiting at the door for Toby after he's talked to you.
He went to his, I assume, friend, so I was slowly going in. But if he didn't catch up to me, then yeah, I would just go inside. I would leave the door open, making sure that he finds me. I feel like there might be a few places where CCTV footage would be kept. It depends on what we have in the school, whether security office or administration or IT room.
Yeah. I'll say that there was a plan of the school with the files, and maybe you took a look. So the school is not very big. There's probably 20 classrooms in the building. And then there is an administration area. There's a small cafeteria. There is a small teacher's lounge. And then various closets for cleaning supplies and that sort of thing. There's a gym area, but that's sort of outside of the school. The classroom building, it's a separate building. But yeah, it seems like the only place where they might keep the security tapes or equipment would be in the administration office.
That's where I'm headed. I would assume that they might have some sort of a cabinet, or maybe if it's stored digitally, there should be a computer.
Mm-hmm.
If it's locked, then I have a problem.
Okay.
But that younger fellow was relatively good with whether computers or phones. He's definitely better than me, so I will trust that he can deal with it.
Okay. Yeah. Toby, after you say bye to Carl, you can catch up with Dwayne. He's inside. And you are walking through the school. And for the most part, it's a very large main hallway. And on either side, there are doors leading to classrooms, bathrooms, closets, all the things that I described before. And you're walking towards the administration office, I presume, which is at the end of the hall. You do see there are places where they have put on new spackle, where they've filled in the bullet holes. You see that new, that filling, the filled in bullet holes in quite a number of spots. And they left some of their equipment around just because they knew that they were going to be here again tomorrow. And yeah. And there's lockers also on either side of the hallway as well. So, straight to administration? Oh, Mal, you're yeah.
So I can see where they did work, basically.
Yeah, you can. They haven't painted it yet.
I think I'm just gonna go closer and I know they said it's a everyday thing. They do work and it doesn't seem to last. I'm just trying to see if they're actually doing sound work. Like, maybe it's falling apart.
Maybe it's crappy.
He's trying to rationalize, yeah. So he's gonna approach the wall and just, check that out.
Sure. You, excuse me, you go up to the wall and you check out the filling job that they did. And it looks like it's good work. It looks very even. It's still a little tacky because it seems like they just did it today. So it still is drying.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks like all they need to do is sand it down a little bit and then paint over it, and it should be fine. It certainly doesn't seem like it would just spontaneously turn back into a bullet hole.
Okay. This is not a good look. With that said, I'll scurry along.
Okay. You pass by various classrooms, and when you are close to the administration door, you do pass by a door that says Mr. Dubois' class, and the door is shut on that one. So that is the room where most of the carnage happened.
So is it possible for me to just stand outside the door and look through the glass of the window just to inside the classroom? I'm not trying to go in. I'm trying to observe like Patrick's friend in the video, basically. I'm just trying to peek in. See the type of vantage point I have from this perspective.
Sure. Dwayne, are you continuing to administration, or are you waiting with Toby? Because you see him go towards the door and look through the window.
I thought I was in administration when he went to the door.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. If you're already in there, that's perfectly reasonable. So when in administration, you see there is there's a reception desk, and then the room sort of opens up it's open, and then there's various doors, offices to the administration staff. So there's reception desk, there's you see vice principal, who'd be Jerome Wade, and then some other admin from other school admin. But nothing that says IT or security or anything like that.
Well, it's a small school. It's to be expected. But I could just systematically peek into each one of them, see if... I think it's the age speaking. See if any of them has some sort of I want to say cupboard, but a drawer, a shelf filled with maybe VHS before I realize it's the 21st century, and they probably have it in digital. So I'd be looking for any administrative computers out there. If there's some sort of general administration, maybe where they keep the files for the kids, all the detentions, all the marks they got, the exams. I would think that maybe somewhere there they would store such things, but I am not on the same technical level as I should be at the moment. So I know it will be a lot of blind fumbling around.
Yeah. Okay. You take a peek in the various rooms, and you don't see anything interesting until you get to Jerome Wade's room, the principal's office. And the doors are unlocked. Nobody seemed to really bother with locking any of the interior doors. And you take a peek, and you do see a sort of security setup. So a computer screen with computer, and then various CD-ROMs potentially, or computer servers or other equipment that would be hooked up to a security system. And it looks like it's all off.
Well, somewhere should be the button to turn it on. I remember the symbol.
Yes. You turn it on, and it boots up. And the screen comes on, and you can look through the files. Actually, the last file that was recorded was October 23rd, the day of the shooting. That was the last time the equipment was turned on.
No, the fact there is no password there both makes me very happy and very irritated.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, if there is this sort of file like right there that I can see, maybe there's a certain relief that I feel that I don't have to go through all these files and try to find something I know I'm not quick to find.
Mm-hmm.
I would look through it around like the same time when we saw that jump or whatever it was.
The interference.
Yes, some interference, yes. Maybe then they don't have it here. Maybe it's just someone in the station who did something to the footage.
Okay. You start to go through the footage. And we'll come back to Toby, who is looking through a small window into Frank Dubois' classroom. In there you see the teacher's desk. And in front of it is the students' desks with attached, the chairs attached with the attached desks. And what exactly are you looking for? Or you're on mute.
I think I'm just trying to get the view that Hassan had, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm trying to see the like how much he was able to take in of the room and what was going on, because like I said, he stayed for so long and I get shocked, but like you watched a few people get shot before you only ran away when the door came open.
Yeah. True.
Not when you saw people being killed. So I'm just trying to, I don't know, I guess I was trying to give benefit of the doubt about maybe the view he had, maybe something was in the way. So that's basically why I looked through.
Okay. Yeah. So your vantage point, the window, if you're right in front of the door, this little window looks straight on to where the teacher might be standing if they're explaining something to the class. So right in front of their desk. So he would have seen, certainly, what Patrick had done to the teacher. You do have to move a little bit to get the vantage point to see into the desks area, so where the students are. And you probably would imagine that the students would have gotten up from their desks and tried to move away from the person with the gun. So what he would have been seeing is a sort of straight shot of Patrick Wilson shooting into this classroom.
It is not looking good for him. And I think I'm with the clear vantage point on the teacher. I think I'm more interested in looking the teacher up too.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna cut away from you again quickly. Go back to Dwayne. You're looking for that specific point of when the tape cut out in the other one.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. You find the spot maybe a minute or two before. You remember that the timestamp was around 9:14 when you start to lose footage. And you start to watch the video.
I brace myself.
I would like you I'd like you to see through the illusion, please.
Good luck to me. Oh my goodness gracious, 4.
Okay. You stare at the screen, and it is the moment when Patrick walks into the main hall. And that moment that you see, that you saw the other video cut out, this one doesn't. This one has all of the footage, and you see Patrick Wilson starting off as a young man in a yellow, bloodied jacket. You start to see him growing in the video. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot. He's almost hitting his head on the high ceilings. The gun turns into sort of a grotesque caricature of a gun. It starts to grow with him, and it looks almost cartoonish in how deadly it would be. There's no sound in this video, but you start to hear a laugh. You see Patrick, or whatever this is in the video, is laughing, and you hear the gunshots, and you're consumed by this video. It's almost taking you over. And Toby, I would like you to also see through the illusion, please, as you're looking through this window.
A 4 as well.
Oh boy. Toby, you start to see on the floor next to the desk, you start to see blood seeping out into a puddle. It starts out small, but it gets larger and larger. And you start to see opaque images of a teacher, a man, who's fallen to the floor, riddled with gunshots. You see students cowering on the other side. You see the yellow rain jacket and the person inside growing so much that their head almost hits the ceiling. And and you start to see everything start to pixelate. It's a weird sensation. It looks like you're in some sort of video game. It looks like he's a video game character. It looks like he is laughing as he's tearing these people apart. Dwayne, the character, spins around, and you still can't see its face. Its face is distorted. That's what you're calling it in your head. This can't be Patrick Wilson anymore. It's something else. It spins around and it looks straight at the camera. It looks at you. And it tilts its head in recognition, possibly. And then you hear the laughter again. And Toby, you hear the laughter as well. You hear the laughter and the gunshots, and everything starts to pixelate. And I need both of you to roll Keep It Together, please.
May I, as I roll, just turn the video off?
Yeah.
18, finally.
Okay.
I got a 10.
All right. So right as this 9-foot, allegedly Patrick Wilson, look at you, you manage to hold your shit together enough to turn the video off. And then things go silent again.
I want to say that I'm seeing things, but that's a lot to see. I guess I'll wait for Toby and show him this thing. Because at this point, I feel like maybe it's some sort of a prank, some sort of a cruel joke. Some kids tampering with all of this, waging some sort of weird psychological warfare, whatever this is. And it's all in bad taste, to be honest.
Yeah. Toby, right as you see this figure, this huge pixelated character in the bright yellow jacket. And I'll also say this, you also see that it's wearing, underneath the rain jacket, it seems to be wearing combat boots, fatigues. And it spins around and you see dog tags. The face is blurred. It's you can't see it. It's the same distortion you were saying in the other video. And right as this figure approaches the door and is about to kick it open, it disappears. It gets sucked back into the floor, into that blood spill, that blood puddle. And everything just kind of sucks back into the puddle, and the puddle just disappears through the floor. How are you feeling?
I'm scared. that was a lot. I'm used to seeing bad things, but not bad supernatural things. Not a lot. So, um, yeah, I'm gonna start running in the direction of Dwayne because I don't know, I need someone solid right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Okay.
as I'm run, I'm just calling out his name. I'm like, Dwayne, you come, Dwayne. And I'm just yelling his name as I run towards the room he was in.
You hear that, Dwayne?
I feel like there is a very long pause before I react to it because I hear it, but whatever I saw made me just dart back, probably towards the window. At least I imagine there's a window behind me, and just grab it with my hands, looking at that computer as if there would be an answer on it right now. You know, just a pop up like, hey, it's a big prank. We got you. But to be honest, I will tell myself that it's a prank by the children, but that looked so horrifying, creepy, and I'm not sure what I saw. So I'm strained and grabbing at that windowsill, and it takes a few seconds for me to understand I'm being called and to react to it and just push myself away from that window and stumbling get out of the office to see what's going on.
Okay. You and Toby run into each other.
And I want to say what, and even open my mouth and then close them and just stare at him.
I think my mind is playing tricks right now. I saw Patrick and he was growing and he was laughing and there was this puddle of blood in the room. I shouldn't have seen what I saw, and I need to be next to somebody solid right now because my mind obviously is not right because that didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense.
And one of my hands is on your shoulder, and I'm pointing with the other towards the administration room, and I'm like, that was on the recording. That minute that was missing. This is what was recorded. Like that little kid just grew like towards the entire ceiling and it was laughing.
But it just happened. I just saw it in the room. And at this point, Toby's backing away from the administration room towards the exit because he wants to be away from this.
And I'm asking which room, and like automatically the hand is reaching towards the gun.
I point towards the room that Patrick first went inside, the classroom he went inside.
What exactly was it?
He fucking disappeared. I don't know if your theory about teleporting is right. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but it's bad. Everything's bad. I talked to the fucking construction. I knew one of the guys. He said that they keep repairing the bullets, but the next day they come back and there's bullet marks in the fucking walls again. Something's wrong. It's not right. This is not right here. We gotta go. We gotta leave.
Yes, we have to leave. I'm just grabbing him on the shoulder and trying to drag him out, Probably not the way we came, because we would have to go past that room where he saw the thing. There must be a fire exit or a back exit where I can
there's a
drag
back
him.
exit.
And I'm dragging him, and I'm going, look, I get it. This is a school, right? They have a cafeteria. So they cook there. So there must be pipes around here. And I suppose he might have shot into some sort of a gas pipe, and we're just getting drugged up right now. I don't know.
I know what it feels to be drugged up. I'm not drugged up.
Do you have a better explanation?
I don't. I just want to leave. I don't fucking know, man. I don't.
And we're leaving towards the back exit.
The back exit leads to there's a sidewalk that sort of traverses. It goes to the gym, and it goes back to the parking lot to the front of the building. And then on the other side, there's the wooded area with a couple of dirt footpaths. And you go straight to the car?
Not really. I'm taking a long breath in, breath out, just to sort of like ventilate whatever I had inside. And I'm looking at Toby and going, I actually wanted to look through the teacher's files over there, but I'm not sure I'm ready to go back, at least alone. And I'm looking at him inquiringly.
Yeah, he's gonna stare at you for a few minutes. You want to go back to the administration room?
We have a chance to pull up all that they have on the teacher, on this guy, on his friend, on his girlfriend.
Listen, I'll stand outside. I'm not going in the room. I'm not. I'm not gonna be trapped in one of these rooms like the fucking kids and the teacher were. But I'll stand outside the room and I'll watch. I'll wait for you to do whatever it is you're trying to do.
Or next time.
Or next time.
Like, what time is it? Do we have time before we meet with the girl?
It's actually about 6:30 now. Didn't seem like you spent that much time in the school, but that's what your phones say. 6:30.
I show him the time.
Suppose we don't, do we?
Listen, we can come back. It's almost time to meet Ashley.
Yeah. I don't want to sound superstitious or something, but maybe during the daylight it would be better.
Yeah, maybe during the day it'll be better.
All right, let's go. Did you ask your friends why it takes 6 weeks to do whatever they do?
I told you they keep fixing where the bullets were embedded into the wall, but they said the next day they come back and it's just the bullet holes are back.
And this, while we're going to the car, makes me think about Carol. And I immediately try to rationalize it as Toby did, and thinking that sounds like vandalism. She's dealing with vandalism as well. I suppose I should tell her about it. And as we're walking, I will quickly type out a message towards her, something like, did you hear about vandalism inside the school? Someone keeps all the words that come into my mind aren't the words that I would send my daughter.
Right.
Also, they shut off the cameras. They don't have the cameras running anymore.
Well, that makes sense.
Which is dumb if somebody's vandalizing the school and they still don't have the cameras back up.
Someone's been drilling bullet holes back.
I don't know. They said it's not just bullet holes. There's blood too.
That's what I'm typing out.
Okay.
Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah. And I'm looking at him and like, I'll let Carol know. She's looking into vandalism, and this seems like it. If anyone will do this right, it's her.
Okay.
You send that text message, and you both get into the car. And you drive off towards where you're going to meet Ashley at the park. It's wintertime, so it's already quite dark at 6:30. And I think we're going to stop there for this session as you're heading off to the meeting with Ashley. So thank you to my players, and thank you to viewers. This has been the first episode of The Shunned, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us for this recorded actual play presented by the Illusion Horror and Con. We'd like to thank our game master, players, and all other contributors to this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed this actual play. And let us know what you think of this episode in the Illusion Horror community spaces. Respectfully, of course. For more information, schedules, and future events, please visit our website and join our Discord server. Links are in the description. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.